Hello students, welcome back. Today we will study a new chapter, packing. This is our 7th chapter for standard 9th. It is from our book Beehives. The writer of this chapter, Jerome K. Jerome. So let's start to know about the author, Jerome Kalapka Jerome. He was born on 2nd May 1859, Cadmore, Walsall, and Staffordshire, England. He was died 14th June 1927 at the age of 68, Northampton General Hospital, Northampton, and his resting place is St. Mary Church, Evelmy, Oxfordshire. His occupation, he was author, playwright, and editor, and his genre was humor. So Jerome K. Jerome was an English writer and a humorist, and he is best known for the comic travelogue Three Men in a Boat. So this chapter, Packing, is an extract from his comic travelogue Three Men in a Boat. So let's start to read the chapter Packing. Before you read, so many questions are asked here to you. Do you like going on trips? What kind of trips do you enjoy most? And how do you feel about having to pack for a trip? Have you ever discovered on a trip that you have forgotten to pack a few things you very much need, or that you cannot find them easily? So, does this make you angry? Yes, I think these things make you angry. And does it make you laugh? Yes, maybe sometimes. And to yourself. And now read this description of how the author and his friend packed. I said I would pack. Here, the writer Jerome K. Jerome liked to pack luggage for trips and announced that he would do the packing. So, I rather pride myself on my packing. Here, pride myself means I'm proud of and on my packing. Packing is one of those many things that I feel I know more. Here, I refers the writer himself about than any other person living. It surprises me myself sometimes how many such things there are. And I impressed the fact upon George and Harris. They are his friend. George and Harris are author's friend, and told them that they had better leave the whole matter entirely to me. They fell into the suggestion with the readiness. Readiness means quickly. They accepted his suggestion quickly that this packing would be done by the author himself. That had something uncanny. Uncanny means strange or weird about it. George spread himself over the easy chair and Harris cocked his leg on the table. Here, cocked his legs means bent the leg on the knee and sat. So here Jerome thought that his ability to pack luggage was better than others. He asked his friend George and Harris to leave the task of packing to him. And these two friends agreed to his offer instantly. They quickly accepted his offer, which was strange. George sat comfortably on the easy chair and Harris bent his knees as he sat on the sofa and kept his feet on the table. So move to next paragraph. Okay, right? This was hardly what I intended. Here, intended means planned. What I had meant, of course, was that I should boss the job. Here, boss the job means he would manage the things, and that Harris and George should potter about under my direction. Potter about means do some unimportant things. The author thought here that George and Harris would follow his order, follow his direction. I pushing them aside free now and then with, oh, you, here, let me do it. There you are, simple enough, really teaching them as you might say. They are taking it in the way they did irritated me. Here is nothing does irritate me more than seeing other people sitting about doing nothing when I am working. As the writer told that he would pack the things. The writer did not mean that his friends would sit and relax while he would do all the works. Understood? So he had meant that he would boss upon them, he would direct them while they would do all the chorus, all the things, all the works. But here he would nag them and curse them for not knowing the work well, and then he would chip in to sort out the mess that they would create. Here his friend, they didn't help them, but they messed the things and they irritated him. And he was irritated to see them sitting while he did all the works. So move to next paragraph. I lived with a man once who used to make me mad that way. He would loll on the sofa and watch me. Here, loll on the sofa means to recline or lean in a relaxed manner, doing things by the hour together. He said it did him real good to look on at me. Messing about. Messing about means to waste time doing something without a particular purpose. Now I am not like that. I cannot sit still and see another man slaving and working. I want to get up and so pretend it and walk around with my hand in my pocket and tell them what to do. It is my energetic nature. I cannot help it. So here the writer recollects. Sit still means sit without doing anything, and superintend means supervise or manage. So here the writer recollects that once he lived with a man who would sit lazily on the sofa all day through and would watch the writer do all the works. As the writer was packing the things, but his friends were doing nothing and watched him. The man would say that he enjoyed watching him go around, doing all the works. This would make the writer mad with anger. The writer adds that he could not sit idle and watch other works like slave. On the other hand, he liked to check their work, walk around with his hands in his pockets and direct them on how to do the work properly. He feels that as he was energetic, it was a part of his nature to behave in that manner. Understood? Okay, right. Go to next paragraph. However, I did not say anything but started the packing. It seemed a longer job than I had thought it was going to be. But I got the bag finished at last and I sat on it and strapped it. Ain't you going to put the boots in? Said Harris. I looked round and found I had forgotten them. That is just like Harris. He could not have said a word until I had got the bag shut and strapped, of course. And George laughed, one of those irritating, senseless laughs of his. They do make me so wild. Here, strapped it means closed it, and wild means mad with anger. So here the writer has presented his experience. How did he feel when his packing was over, and after completing the packing his friend reminded him would he pack the boot. So as the writer did not say anything to his friends and started packing, as he closed it, Harris said that he had forgotten to pack the boots. The writer felt that Harris could have reminded him before he had closed the bag, but he thought that Harris was like that. And this was followed by an irritating laughter by the George, which made Jerome wild with anger. So understood? Okay, right. Move to next paragraph. I opened the bag and packed the boots in. And then, just as I was going to close it, a horrible idea occurred to me. Had I packed my toothbrush? I don't know how it is, but I never do know whether I have packed my toothbrush. So Jerome opened the bag to keep the boots in it. Through this paragraph, we can understand what situation was facing by the author. So as Jerome opened the bag to keep the boots in it, as he was about to close it, he was struck by a strange thought that had he kept the toothbrush or not. He says that he never remembered if he has packed the toothbrush or not. There was a confusing situation that the writer was facing, and he was very confused whether he had packed his toothbrush or not, and as he has used it after using, did he packed it in his bag. My toothbrush is a thing that haunts me. Haunts means repeatedly give trouble. So here my toothbrush is a thing that haunts me when I am traveling and makes my life a misery. I dream that I have not packed it and wake up in a cold perspiration. Cold perspiration means sweat. and get out of bed and hunt for it. Hunt means search. And in the morning, I pack it before I have used it and have to unpack again to get it. And it is always the last thing I turn out of the bag, and then I repack and forget it and have to rush upstairs for it at the last moment and carry it to the railway station wrapped up in my pocket handkerchief. So Jerome adds that while traveling, he always messes up with carrying his toothbrush. He has nightmares, he has bad dreams of not having packed it, wakes up in a sweat and looks for it. In the morning, he packs it before using it, then unpacks the bag to get the brush and uses it. As it is the last thing that comes out of the bag and he has repacked the bag, he forgets pack it again. So he was confused whether he has packed his toothbrush again or not. So at the last moment he rushes to his room to get the brush, and finally he wrapped it in his handkerchief and carries it to the railway station in his hands. So here students, let it be continued. This is the first part of the chapter. The remaining part of the chapter will be in next session. Thank you all of you. Study well. Keep learning.